Let's solve this managerial economics question together. So this is the last question for the trial questions we've been solving, right? And this is question 8. So I'm going to read the question together. But then before, if you're a student at UPSC, I would like to remind you that next year, hopefully, I'll be aspiring for the position for SLC president. So if you're a student at UPSC, your votes will be appreciated. So as you are understanding, then you'd also be voting for me next year. All right, so now let's solve the question together. All right, so I'm reading the question. So the question says that, so I'm starting with the A. So it says that Amasem Ghana Limited is a monopolist with a linear demand curve. P is equal to 100 minus 4Q, and a total cost function TC is equal to 50 plus 20Q. So this is the total cost function, which is TC is equal to 50 plus 2Q, and P is equal to 100 minus 4Q. All right. So the I says that you should calculate the output, price, and profits of Amasem Ghana Limited. Okay, so we are asked to calculate the outputs. Okay, let's start with the output before we go to the price, then the profit as well. Now, when you have something like this, where they give you the total cost and the price, this one, there's no way you can find for the output just like that because they've not given you anything to substitute. They've not given the price that you can just substitute. So now, anytime you have something like this, you have to equate the marginal revenue to the marginal cost before you can find the output. I repeat, if they give you any question like this, when you see any question like this, especially when they are talking about a monopolist, and once you see a monopolist, then they ask you for the output. You have to equate the marginal revenue to the marginal cost. Do you get it? So now, in this one like this, they've not given us the marginal revenue, not given us the marginal cost. So we'll have to find for it. So let's start with the marginal revenue, which is our MR. We know that marginal revenue is found when we differentiate the total revenue function. I hope you've not forgotten. So the marginal revenue is the same as the TR over the Q. Do you get it? So when we differentiate the total revenue function with respect to Q, that's how we get the marginal revenue. But then there's a problem because they've not also given us TR. Let me make this capital. So the TR. They've also not given us the TR, which is the total revenue. So we would have to find for the total revenue. Do you get it? So now we know that total revenue is also equal to price times quantity. Do you get it? So now it means our total revenue will be equal to our price. Fortunately, they've given us the price, which is our P, to be 100 minus 4Q. So the price times the quantity. So the quantity is Q. Do you get it? So now we can find for our total revenue. So our total revenue, the total revenue will be equal to 100 minus 4Q times Q. So 100 times Q will give us 100Q. The negative 4Q times Q will give us negative 4Q squared. So now that we've found our total revenue function and we got as 100Q minus 4Q squared, we can now find our marginal revenue. So we just have to differentiate this with respect to Q. So our marginal revenue will be, as I said here, the TR over the Q, which will be equal to, so now we are differentiating the TR with respect to Q. So 100Q, when we differentiate with respect to Q, we're going to get 100. The Q will vanish. Then minus 4Q squared. 2 will multiply the negative 4 to become negative 8. Then you add the Q to it. Do you get it? So now when we differentiate the total revenue function with respect to Q, we are getting 100 minus 8Q. So this is your marginal revenue function. Do you get it? So now that we found the marginal revenue, which is 100 minus 8Q, we'll now find for the marginal cost. So we also know that the marginal cost, we have to differentiate the total cost function. So we are getting the TC over the Q. So when you differentiate the total cost function with respect to Q, well, I just realized that here is supposed to be 20Q in the question, not 2Q. So 20Q rather. All right, so please correct it. I'm sure you guys realized from the question. All right, so 50 plus 20Q. All right, so that's it. So now we are going to differentiate the total cost function with respect to Q. So if you are differentiating 50 plus 20Q with respect to Q, 50 will vanish. 20Q will become 20 because the Q will become 1. So 20 times 1, so that's 20. So now after you differentiate this with respect to Q, we are getting 20. And that's our marginal cost. So now we are finding for output. And I said that when you are finding for output, you are just going to equate marginal revenue to marginal cost. So MR is equal to marginal cost. So this is the condition where the firm makes profits. You get it? And our market structures. So now our marginal revenue is 100 minus 8Q. And this should be equal to the marginal cost, which is 20. Do you get it? So now we want to make Q the subject. So you can bring 20 this side. So you are going to get 100. Then when 20 crosses the equal to 10, it becomes negative 20. Then this is equal to negative 8Q. When it crosses the equal to 10, you are getting 8Q. So 100 minus 20 should give us 80. Then this should be equal to 8Q. Then we are finding for output. So we divide both sides by 8 to make output stand alone or Q stand alone. So this will cancel this. So our Q will be equal to 80 over 8. And that should give us 10. So our Q is 10. Right? So now we found for the output, which is 10. So you can conclude that the output is 10. They also asked us to find for the price. But then in the question, they told us that, so let me do it here. So price. So this is price, this is output. In the question, they told us that price is 100 minus 4Q. And now we know our Q is 10. So we just substitute it. So P is equal to 100 minus 4 times 10. So now P is equal to 100 minus 4 times 10 is 40. So 100 minus 40, that should give us 60. So our price is 60. So now we found for the price. Now the next one says that we should find for the profits, right? So now let's find for profits. And we already know that profits is total revenue. Let me do it down here. So we are finding for profits. So you know that profit is total revenue minus total cost. Let's find for total revenue first. So total revenue is price times quantity, right? And our price, you already know it as 60. Our quantity too, we know it as 10. So 60 times 10, and that will give us 600. So our total revenue is 600. So now that we found our total revenue and we got 600, we can find our total cost. So our total cost, they already give us the total cost function to be 50 plus 20Q. So that will give us 50 plus 20 times Q. And Q is what? 10. So this will give us, so 20 times 10 is 200. So 200 plus 50. And that should give us 250. So now we can find our profit. So now we know our profit, like I said, is total revenue minus total cost. So total revenue is 600. Total cost, so minus the total cost, which is 250. So that should give us 350. So our profit is 350, right? So we are done with the I, where we're asked to find the output price and profit. So the output is 10, the price is 60, and the profit is 350. So you add a unit, cedis, then units. All right. So now let's go to the II. So the II says that suppose Amasem Ghana Limited were a perfectly competitive firm with the same demand and total cost function, what will be its output, price, and profit? So now they are saying assume that it's not a monopolist, but it's now a perfect competitor with the same demand and total cost function. What will be its output, price, and profit? So now, in fact, the main difference between a perfect competitive firm and the monopolist firm is that for a monopolist, your price is usually greater than your marginal cost. You get, or your price is greater than your marginal cost. If your price is greater than your marginal cost, it's more like you are making a lot of profit. You get, so monopolists make more profit because they can change their price anytime. You get it, since they are the only one in the firm. But then for a perfect competitor, the price is always equal to your marginal cost. So if your marginal cost is 20 cedis, like the cost you are carrying on the product is like 20 cedis, or the additional cost 20 cedis, your price is also going to be 20 cedis. Because you assume that when it comes to perfect competition, there are many sellers and many buyers. Do you get it? And there's also free entry and free exit. So if you raise your price above the marginal cost, no one will buy from you. They can go and buy from someone else. So, and so this is for the II, right? So just know that for perfect competition, the main difference is that the price is equal to the marginal cost. As for the monopolists, the price is always greater than the marginal cost. So I think your price was 60, your marginal cost was 20. Yes, marginal cost you got at 20. So you realize that the price was greater than the marginal cost. Price 60, marginal cost 20. And that's the only reason why he could do that, because he's a monopolist. But now they are saying that assuming that this same firm is now a perfect competitor, what is going to happen there? So now the only difference is that the marginal cost which you are going to get as 20 has to be your price. You can't set the price above the marginal cost when it comes to perfect competition. So now it means that the marginal cost is 20, right? So this would be your price. So your price will be 20, which is the same as the marginal cost. Let me write it well. So you know that the marginal cost is 20. So it means your price is also 20. So you look at it from the marginal cost. Don't make a mistake and make the marginal cost rather 60. You look at the marginal cost, then it's 20. So that would be your price. You get it? So the marginal cost is the same as the price. You can't go above the cost. You have to be at the same level. All right, so we found for the price, which is 20. That's the same as the marginal cost. We also asked to find for the output price and profit. So you found for the price. Now let's find for the outputs. So now I told you that for the monopolist, for him, the profit maximizing point is where the marginal revenue is equal to the marginal cost. You get it? That's for the monopolist. So that's why we equated the marginal revenue. Where is it? So the marginal revenue to the marginal cost. So this is for monopolists. You get it? But then for a perfect competitor, your price has to be equal to the marginal cost. That's the profit maximizing point. You get it? So now if your price is equal to the marginal cost, if you want to find for the output, what is our price function? Here we use the marginal revenue function, but here we are going to use the price function. So the price function is P. So we said P is equal to 100 minus 4Q. You get it? That's for the price function. So we are going to equate it to the marginal cost. We already know that the marginal cost is 20. You get it? So we are going to equate this to 20. So the price, which is 100 minus 4Q, is equal to marginal cost. P is equal to MC. So if 100 minus 4Q is equal to 20, we can make Q stand alone. So we find the quantity. So it means 100 minus 20 should be equal to 4Q. So 100 minus 20 is 80. 80 is equal to 4Q. Then we divide both sides by 4. Divide here by 4. So Q is equal to 80 over 4. And that should give us 20. Do you get it? So now we found for the quantity as well. So we found for the quantity, which is the output. And we found for the price as well, which is the 20. So they said price, where is it? So for the II, they said output, price, and profit. So you found for output, you found for price. It's left with profit. Where should I? Okay, let me do it here. So now we know our profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. Remember, we are still on II, and we are now talking about a perfect competitor. Do you get it? So now let's find our total revenue first. So our total revenue is the price times quantity for the perfect competitor. The price for the perfect competitor here was 20 times the quantity. The quantity too was 20 as well. So our total revenue will be 400. Then for the total costs, we are going to use the same function. So we have 50 plus 20. Here our quantity is no more 10. This was for the monopolist, but for the perfect competitor, it was 20. So 50 plus 20 times 20. 20 times 20 is 400. 400 plus 50 is 450. So our total cost is going to be 450. That's for the perfect competitor. So now our profit will be total revenue, which is 400, minus total cost, which is 450. And we are getting negative 50. So it means the firm will be making a loss. Do you get it? So if the firm wanted to operate under perfect competition, it would have been making a loss. But then for the monopolist, he was making profit of 350. Do you get it? So now the last one under the A, they said we should compare the output price and profits of Amasem Ghana Limited under the two conditions. So the first one they said we should compare is the output. So let's compare the output first. So under the monopolist, which was the I, we got the output to be 10. Under the perfect competition, which was the II, we got the output, which is the KO, to be 20. So you realize that for the output, you see that the output for the perfect competitor is higher than that of the monopolist. Do you get it? So the output is higher in the perfect competition than the monopolist. All right, now the second one you are going to compare is the price. So now the price, let's compare for the I, which is the monopolist. So for the I, where's our price? So yes, our price was 60 cedis. That was for the monopolist. And then for the perfect competitor, our price was 20. So you realize that the monopolist's price was higher than the perfect competitor because the monopolist can set the price as high as he wants, so far as he's making profit. You get it? So the price is higher for the monopolist than the perfect competitor. Then the last one they say we should compare is what? The profits. So now the profit for the I, which was the monopolist, was 350. But for the II, which was the perfect competitor, was negative 50. That's a loss. Do you get it? So you can say that the monopolist was making a profit of 350 cedis, while the perfect competitor was making a loss of negative 50, or a loss of 50. You get it? All right. So that's for the A part of the question. Now let's move to the B part. So I'm going to clean the board since there's no space. That we move to the B part of the question. Okay, so now let's go to the B part of the question. So the B part says that assume now that Amasim Ghana Limited, a monopolist, is able to separate her consumers into two distinct markets as follows, where P1, so the first price, P1 is equal to 80 minus 5 KO1, then P2 is equal to 180 minus 20 KO2. Then the total cost, so this is P1, this is P2. Then the total cost of Amasim Ghana Limited is giving us TC is equal to 50 plus 20 KO, where KO is equal to KO1 plus KO2. So let me just add that. So KO is equal to KO1 plus KO2. All right. So now calculate the I outputs, the prices, the profit, and the total profit. All right. So now let's start with the output. And I told you that anytime you're talking about a monopolist and they ask you for the output, just equate the marginal revenue to the marginal cost once you see a monopolist. So now the I, we are starting with the outputs. And since it's a monopolist, you are going to say the marginal revenue should be equal to the marginal cost. That's how we can find for the output. But then there's a problem. Now this one, the prices are two, so it means the firm is discriminating. Do you get it? He's selling the same product to different categories of people for different prices. Do you get it? So now we have to find the marginal revenue for both of them. So you are going to start with the first one. So the marginal revenue one. But then we know that the marginal revenue, so let's find for the marginal revenue first. Marginal revenue is equal to the total revenue. So DTR over DQ. So when you differentiate the total revenue function with respect to Q, you are getting the marginal revenue you get. But they've also not given us the total revenue. But you are going to get total revenues, two total revenues. Do you get it? One for the first one and the second price as well. Because now you're selling it at different prices. This is one price, one price. So you're going to get the total revenue for this one and the total revenue for this one. So let's start with the total revenue for this one, which is the P1. So for P1, so we are getting TR1. And that will give us the price times quantity. So P times quantity. So since it's TR1, here too will be P1 times Q1. Do you get it? So our TR1 will be equal to P1, which is already here. So 80 minus 5Q1 times Q1. So times Q1, we just add it. So our TR1 should be equal to 80 times Q1 should give us 80 Q1. Then negative 5 Q1 times Q1 should give us negative 5 Q1 squared. You get it? So now that we found our total revenue for the first one, for P1, we can find the marginal revenue. So the marginal revenue, you just need to differentiate this. So I'm getting the TR1 over the Q1. We are differentiating this as a result of the quantity, which is the Q1. So now, when we differentiate 80 Q1 with respect to Q1, we are getting 80. The Q1 will vanish. Then negative 5 Q1 squared. 2 will multiply the negative 5. We are going to get negative 10. Then Q1. So this is going to be our marginal revenue. So this is our marginal revenue 1, or our first marginal revenue. So now that we've got our marginal revenue, you can equate it to the marginal cost. So I can find the output for the Q1, which is the first output. Do you get it? So now, what's our marginal cost? Our marginal cost, we got it as 20, remember. In fact, when you even look at the total cost function, 50 plus 20 Q, marginal cost means that you are differentiating the total cost function with respect to Q. So you're going to get 20. Do you get? because 50 will vanish, 20k with respect to k, you are getting to it. So we already know that our marginal costs, that's the one we did earlier on, is the same thing. So our marginal cost is 20. And our marginal revenue is 80 minus 10k1. So you create both of them. So marginal revenue should be equal to marginal cost. And our marginal revenue is the 80 minus 10k1, which is equal to the marginal cost, which is 20. So now 20 will cross the equal to sign. So 20 will cross the equal to sign to become negative. So minus 20 should give us positive 10k1, because it's also crossing the equal to sign. You get it? So 80 minus 20 should give us 60. And this should equal to 10k1. So you can divide both sides by 10, divide here by 10. So this will cancel this. So our k1 should be equal to 6. I hope you get it. Now we also have to find for k2, which is our second output. So for that one as well, let me do it here. So we know that our marginal revenue is the TR over the K. So we have to find the TR2, which you know is, so TR1 was P1 times K1. So TR2 will be P2 times Q2. So our TR2 will be equal to, so our P2, they give it to us as 180 minus 20 Q2 times the Q2. So our TR2 will be equal to 180 times Q2, which is 180 Q2. Then negative 20 Q2 times Q2 will give us negative 20 Q2 squared. So now that we found our total revenue for the second one, we can now find our marginal revenue. We know that our marginal revenue is the DTR over DQ. When we differentiate this one, so this one you are talking about TR2, so you can make a TR2 over DQ2. So when you differentiate this, you are going to get our marginal revenue function. So you are differentiating 180 Q2 with respect to Q2, so you are going to get 180. The Q2 will vanish. The negative 20 Q2 squared with respect to Q2. So 2 will multiply the negative 20, you are getting negative 40. Then you add your Q2, you get it. So the marginal revenue 2, or the second marginal revenue, will give us 180 minus 40 Q2. Now we know our marginal revenue should be equal to our marginal cost. So our marginal revenue, which is our 180 minus 40 Q2, should be equal to the marginal cost. The marginal cost is the same for the first one, which is our 20. So it's equal to 20. So now we want to find for Q2, which is our output. So 180, we can let the 20 cross the equal sign to become negative. So minus 20 should be equal to negative 40 Q2. When it crosses the equal sign, it becomes positive. So it's equal to 40 Q2. You get it? So 180 minus 20 should give us 160. And this should be equal to 40 Q2. We want to make Q2 the subject. So we divide here by 40, divide here by 40. This will cancel this. Q2 will be equal to 160 over 40. And that should give us 4. So now Q1 is 6, Q2 is 4. So our Q, which is said is equal to Q1 plus Q2, is equal to Q1, which is, so Q is equal to Q1, which is 6, plus Q2, which is 4. So this would be 10. So our total output will be 10, Q1 6 and Q2 4. I hope you get it. Now we can go ahead to find for the prices for each of them. So let's start with P1. So for P1, we know that it is equal to 80 minus 5 Q1. So P1 is equal to 80 minus 5. So we are finding the prices, minus 5 Q1. Q1 is what? We got our Q1 to be 6. So 80 minus 5 times 6. And that should give us 50, because 5 times 6 is 30. So 80 minus 30 should give us 50. Then our P2, which is our second price, they said is 180 minus 20 Q2. So minus 20 times Q2. And we know our Q2 is 4. You get it? So our second price, or our P2, should give us 180 minus 20 times 4. 20 times 4 is 80. So 180 minus 80, and that should give us 100. You get it? So our second price is 100. So the last thing we're going to find for is the profit. We found the output and the price. Let me clean this part of the board so that we find for the profits. So now we already know that profit is equal to total revenue minus total costs. But then for the total revenue, remember we had two total revenues. We had TR1 and TR2. So we have to find the total revenues for both of them. So let's find for TR1. So TR1 is equal to P1 times Q1. Do you get it? So the price times quantity. So P1, where is the P1? Yeah, so P1 is 50. That's what is here. Times Q1. Where is Q1? Q1 was 6. So times 6. And that will give us 300. Then now TR2, which will give us P2 times Q2. Price times quantity. Since you're dealing with 2, so 2, 2. So P2, we got it as what? 100 times Q2. Q2, we got it as 4. So 100 times 4, that should give us 400. So the total revenue, when you add TR1 plus TR2, so total revenue will be TR1 plus TR2. And that should give us 300 plus 400. And that is 700. So we found for our total revenue. Now we can find for our total cost. We already know that the total cost is joint. So for both of them, they give us the total cost as 50 plus 20 Q. But we know that Q, this Q is for, they didn't say Q1 or Q2, so it means it's the total Q, the one here. This is which is this plus this. And that was 6 plus 4, right? Yeah, 6 plus 4, you got it as 10. So it means it's going to be 50 plus 20 times the Q here, which is 10. And that should give us 20 times 10 is 200. Then 200 plus 50, that's 250. So now our final profit will be total revenue minus total costs. So our profit will be the total revenue, which is 700, minus the total cost, which is 250. And that should give us 450. So that's the profit for both of them. You get it? Or the joint profits. So yes. So yes, I think we are done with the question 8 or the child question. This is also the last question. So I'm glad I've been able to solve from question 1 to 8. And I'm sure this would go a long way to help you. So thank you very much for watching this video. And I wish all of you all the best in your exams as well.